All right, welcome back, everybody. It is roster rescue day. We are live here at noon Eastern time on this lovely Monday afternoon. And you've been seeing this guy all over Dynasty Nerds lately. And we're like, you know what? Time for him to join in the roster rescue. Jagger, how you doing, man?
I am excited. This is my first time. I'm coming with zero context. I'm just here to help you guys win. And I'm going to do this like I do life, which is 1 second at a time.
The best part was I asked him like late last night. I was like, "Hey, somebody want to do this?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. Cool." And that's basically the extent of the conversation. So
Yeah.
he has no idea how this works, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. So what we're doing here for the viewer, if you're not sure what's going on, here's what's happening here. We are taking a look at people's rosters. They've submitted them, and we're going to say, hey, I like what you have going on here, but I'm a little concerned with this. Or I would be looking to make a trade for this guy in this league because he's trending this direction and you're trending this direction. Or you thought you were a contender, but oops, no, you're not. And we get to kind of break down your team and talk about what we would do and why we would do it. If you want to get your roster rescued today, we obviously have an opportunity. I shouldn't say obviously, it's not obvious at all, but we have an opportunity for you to do that. Upper right-hand corner, submit a roster, but you could skip the entire line. And if you're like, look, I don't want to have to wait, I want you guys to do mine now. There is a nuke button, and all you would have to wait is if somebody else has a nuke, you'd have to wait on them, I guess. But nuke automatically bumps you to the top of the list. So there is also Pete. I know you have a little bit of an announcement. We have some people out there that we still need some information on, right?
Yeah, so let me read off the names. Mike, Jim, and Josh. I sent you emails from Peter at dynastynerds.com. So maybe check your spam or your folders. And then that's all that I need. Also, just regular roster rescues were full. So the only way that you can get on the show is by a nuke for today.
Okay. Only way in is via a nuke. All right. So Pete, what's our first one here, man?
Okie dokie. Okay, so this is Dylan. Start 10. I am going to do a new format today, so I'm still figuring out. So 12 team, year 3 of the league. Initial startup was a mixed bag of first timers and vets. So he's just looking to hear some advice where he stands. And if I go after neighbors, this was before yesterday. So probably no.
I would recommend not. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go through this roster here. This is Superflex tight end premium. We have Jackson Dart, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. Running back, we're looking at Travion Henderson, Bucky Irving, Quinshawn Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Rashard Smith. Wide receiver, Emeka Ibuka, Rashee Rice, Quentin Johnston, Cedric Tillman, Jack Besh, Jalen McMillan, Marvin Mims. At tight end, Tyler Warren, T.J. Hawkinson, and Juwan Johnson. We have 2 firsts and 26, 2 firsts and 27. We have our own 28 first, and then we have multiple seconds over the next few years as well. So you can kind of tell, Jagger. Oh, actually, real quick before we get into that, we're currently ranked 7th in Dynasty mode. But where are we at in Contender mode, Pete?
We are
in 12th.
What?
All right, so this is kind of where I expected us to be. Looking at this team, I love the start. This is exactly how, when you're in the midst of a rebuild, how I want things to look. I have a bunch of extra picks in my back pocket. I took some chances on some young draft picks, and I've hit on many of those picks. So overall, I think this is a fantastic start. Just on the overall roster, Jag, anything that you're seeing that stands out to you?
Yeah, this is the perfect opportunity where I think if you want to make win now moves, you can do that without crippling your roster in the future. We already know, you already kind of said this. Should I go after Neighbors? We should beef up wide receiver a little bit there.
Mhm.
And you have a lot of ammo to do that. Like, I'm all in on the 2027 class just as anyone else. But I also I can't start those pieces right now, and I can always get them back in the future. So I'm looking at what I have now and a lot of those future picks, and I'm looking at a lot of these other, I would say, maybe fake contenders or clear
Mhm.
rebuilders and getting something off their roster. That's like the initial thing I see right now.
So Pete, where are we at in the rankings overall? Like, what's our team's record?
We are 2-4, ranks 11th in both overall points for and in the rankings. Or
I'm
yeah.
curious to hear how we did this week.
Still waking up.
Obviously, not over yet. We're still going to wait and see what Justin Fields does tonight, and that will probably have something to say about whether we are sitting in a good spot where we're getting closer to 500 there, or are we really falling to the bottom? Right now, I think you're absolutely right, Jagger. One of the things I'm looking to do is I do want to beef up this wide receiver room. Now, we're going to be updating our rankings, and the values on here are going to change. Jagger and I did a show this morning. We've got to bump up Quentin Johnston now. He is the best riser. It was hard to tell if this was legit or not, but it's starting to feel much more legit than it was week 1, week 2. So that guy's going to be getting a bump in value, but I still would like one more piece in my wide receiver room. And then at quarterback, I would really like to have a second quarterback that I can trust, or I should say a third quarterback. Right now, we do have 2 starters, but right now you're looking at 2 of the most volatile quarterbacks that you could possibly have, which is fine if you're staying in rebuild mode. But if you're wanting to try to get to that next level where I'm going to start competing, that's where the questions are going to lie for me, because right now I can't necessarily trust either guy today. Both guys have crazy upside. Both guys could have some huge weeks, but it's really tough to trust right now. So I am wanting to go to some of these other teams that maybe thought they were going to be good but aren't. So Pete, do we have any of these that are ranked fairly high in contender that just aren't doing well?
So 4th is 3-3.
Okay.
And
Paper
then
with league
2 and
median.
4.
what, Jagger?
So this is obviously with the league median.
Yes.
Better on paper. Let's see what they got. What do they have on the roster? Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy,
Okay.
Hey,
This
Romo Tunze. I don't know that they really have the pieces that we're going to need, because they're not going to give up on Rome, especially if they're going to go. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can't afford a quarter like Josh Allen. Why would they give up Kyler Murray? JJ McCarthy is just as risky as someone else, like as anyone else right now. So
Yeah. All right, let's keep going down.
Okay.
Conky.
Everybody's kind of. Oh, what's Yoshi? That guy has no win.
Ooh.
Okay, Mahomes, Knicks, Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen. Jordan Addison is a little bit interesting to me, but right now I don't know that he changes our wide receiver room much. We're kind of already, we have plenty of guys with upside. What we need is kind of a difference maker. So what I'm leaning toward, what do they have at quarterback?
Sorry. Robert was distracted.
Being Robert?
Yep. Mahomes and Knicks.
Jagger, are you interested in either Knicks or Mahomes right now? Would you be willing to make like kind of a package deal for one of those guys? Are they not really tickling your fancy?
Bo Nix I'm interested in, but again, it's why would the other owner give him up is why I always would ask myself. Patrick Mahomes is in quarterback purgatory where you never feel like you're going to get enough, but he's not really giving you the value. So until people are comfortable ranking Patrick Mahomes outside of their top 12, I find a hard time buying him.
Okay.
Also,
did Dylan say he got the high score this week? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Okay, so he's probably getting the dub, regardless of what Justin Fields does. So it's got to feel pretty good. So yeah, we can start to kind of lean that direction. But yeah, we're not going to get anything probably there out of Bo Nix if that guy's wanting to rebuild. Mahomes is interesting to me. What do you think he would cost?
A first. I would not pay more than a first for Mahomes. So if
Would
he has
you give? What if he said, "I want Justin Fields and a first"? Would you do it?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's move up. Let's go through some of the different teams here, Pete, because we need to find a trade partner either to get us a wide receiver that we feel good about or a quarterback.
What's these bottom teams that look like where they might be selling a vet that it doesn't
Dak
suck?
Prescott's perfect.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Dak Prescott. Is it wild that AJ Brown is someone
It's risky business, but it could be worth it. You know,
Michael Pittman's been productive too. Like this might be our guy right here.
I think this is the team that we work with. What's their record, Pete, right now? Obviously, it'll change after tonight, but
3-3.
Okay, so they're kind of middle of the road. I'm trying to talk this guy into, hey man, like you're gonna be great in a couple years, but this might not be your year. Like I'm trying to talk to him. I'm trying to talk him into becoming a rebuilder. What's the rest of his roster look like?
Yeah, it's specifically tied in. I want to move TJ Hawkinson. Yeah,
Kittle, Ferguson, Jonnu.
Okay, and what's his pick situation? Okay, so he hasn't really moved much. Actually, basically nothing except a couple seconds. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is our dance partner right here. I think this is the guy that we're going to be dancing with. If he said, you know, we're going after AJ Brown and Dak Prescott, I would be willing to give a first and second to try to get both of those guys. Do you think that would get done?
I think he'd want 2 first. He'd want a first for Dak
as well,
and he'd want a first for Brown, which you can afford, you know. But that is an aggressive move, you know. That is saying I am putting my chips in right now. That's not typically how hard I'd want to move, but Dak Prescott's going to have some years. AJ Brown, we talked about this on the Risers and Fall show. AJ Brown is good, but if he gets moved to a bad team, like he gets the DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley treatment, that situation could change. You're good at.
Dylan just told us something, and I think this is the key insight right here. He has both of this guy's second round picks. So
okay,
we give a first and both of his seconds back. I think that might get done.
That might get done. Yeah. And then you're like immediately competitive right now. And you haven't sold the farm for the future. Like you're still good.
You're still in a good spot with a bunch of extra picks. Still have some extra seconds. Still have some extra first on top of your original picks. I love that move because instantly it catapults us to a spot of I can compete. Will I win this year? Maybe, probably not, but you at least give yourself a shot without mortgaging the farm and mortgaging the future. And you know what? If you get to week 8 and week 9 and things just aren't panning out, then flip them again. Flip Dak Prescott again. Flip AJ Brown again and get ready for the upcoming season. So I think that is an optimal move for this team.
Yeah. And you can move some of those, like sell Joe Flacco to somebody who's desperate for anything. Like get anything.
The number one team only has
right?
one starter right now, right? Do they only have one?
I don't know.
Pete, can you click the number one team for us?
Yes. Goff and Browning.
Technically Browning, but he's also got Gabriel. So that tells me he's already invested in that room a little bit. I'm seeing, I'll give you a Flacco for a third.
Yeah. And then I would move TJ Hawkinson too for your tight ends, just because this is like, again, I'm trying to play 4D chess here a little bit. I just don't think that value is going to hold up, and people are already having Hawk questions. So I would rather get out from a tight end with value before like his value drops. That's just me.
What was the team with JJ McCarthy? They were one of the ones towards the bottom. Was that team 7 or what team was that? It was team 7.
Yeah.
Okay. What do they have at tight end?
Andrews, Henry, Schultz.
They might
do it.
They might think Hunter Henry's not real.
And
Let's just try.
And I would take Hunter Henry on our team as our backup. So I would be willing to do Hunter Henry plus for TJ Hawkinson.
Yep.
I think that's the other move that I would like to make.
Yep.
Dylan said he offered Neighbors plus for Bucky, Hawk, and Fields.
That makes you win for the future, even if that got done, because your running back is thin, and then you're giving up at least a quarterback that can help you win right now. I get.
I will say though, the value's on his side there.
Yes, it is. I mean, where are you at on Bucky? I guess. How high are you on Bucky?
I would say I'm market value on Bucky.
Okay.
I'm not super high on him, but I'm not like he sucks and he's a bust or anything like that. Like I think he's a good running back that we're going to get another 2 to 3 years where he's going to be really solid because of the receiving game and things like that. So I think he's going to be a very steady Eddie. Like, oh, he finished this year at running back 9, next year at running back 12, and maybe one more year in his career, like right on the fringe of like running back 1, running back 2. And then that's probably what we're going to get out of him. So solid, like think Kyron Williams, but just a couple years younger.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, either way, like that move makes sense if you want to do it, but what you're going to do this season changes. Because if like you
Correct.
do that move for Neighbors, then you're saying
You're flipping the script.
I'm flipping the script. So like you pretty much got two options there. You can either try to win or you can pick up a really good piece and then have that ready for next year. So
Which I'm fine with either one. I think both are fine, logical routes to go. It's just how much do I want to ensure that I'm going to be really solid for the future? And how much do I want to say, hey, you never know how these guys are going to pan out or not. I'm going to try to do my best today. So I think that is honestly your call to make, but I am fully in support of either one. I think the worst thing you could do is just not do anything.
Do nothing. Yeah. Do nothing. Like either one of these moves gets you out of the middle and raises your profile for like either now or the future. So
exactly. Perfect. All right. Pete, do we want to go to Matt's question here real quick?
Yes.
Oh, we're fighting each other. Go ahead, Pete. There we go. Yep. All right. Matt says he's 1-3, but my team is the #1 dynasty ranked team and the #1 contender ranked team, and he does not have his first. Would you trade Neighbors and Ladd for Lamb and McCaffrey? And should I add more? Jagger, we actually were talking about both Neighbors and Ladd in our Risers and Fallers show today. So would you trade both of those guys right now for a Lamb and McCaffrey or no?
I would try to buy Lamb. I don't know your running backs. Like McCaffrey's fine. My only issue of like trying to buy Lamb is that he is injured and has a high ankle sprain. So like you're buying an incredibly risky asset. You'll be fine once he's healthy in the future, obviously. Right. But I don't know if buying Lamb fixes your problem immediately. McCaffrey obviously does. I just don't know what your running backs are. And I am personally buying Ladd McConkey because I feel like it could turn around. He's the type of guy I keep buying, like Garrett Wilson, like those, like I will just continue to buy these players. Yeah. So this is a weird one for me. I don't know where you're at.
It's a tough one for me too. I'm always, if you're in a contender window, especially if you don't have your first, I get kind of pushing the chips in and saying like, I need to win. I think the value is on the Neighbors and Ladd side. I think that's where the value is.
Yes.
But situations sometimes dictate winning or losing a trade. And so in this scenario, I get it. And it makes perfect sense if you're trying to make sure that you can win this season. But I'm with you on the Lamb thing. I would love for it to be Amon-Ra. Obviously, he probably doesn't have him, but I would love for it to be Amon-Ra instead of Lamb, or Jeddah's instead of Lamb, or somebody that is going to help ensure that I climb out of this hole and I'm pretty quickly, 5-3 or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's the part that makes this hard, is you could be giving up the better side of the deal, not by a crazy amount margin, but you would be giving up the better side of the deal, and you still might not improve that much. And so that's where it's going to be tricky for me. So to the last part of the question, no, I would definitely not add more. If anything, the other side should be adding a little bit more.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you could pull something, which they won't, as actually, no, I won't say that. Some people wouldn't. Like, they shouldn't put more on top of it if I was them on the other side. But so that's just
maybe they have Keenan Allen. Like, that would be a great one to like add on top.
Supplement. Yeah.
Yes, to help get you through. Do they have a guy like that? Stephon Diggs to kind of help supplement for a little bit, or something to keep you going until Lamb's ready to go would be helpful for me.
Yep.
All right, on to the next. All right, what do we got, Pete? I think you're muted, Pete.
No, my microphone just isn't on. So this is our good friend Mike. What?
Blue Ryan is trying to see if there's any good people here. I don't know. There's probably only bad people. So I'm just warning you.
We are rescuing rosters. I already see the immediate problems right now. So
all right, go ahead, Pete.
So this is our good friend Mike. PPR non-tight end premium, league size 12. Top 3 teams from each division go to the playoffs. Unfortunately, I can't tell the division, so that's kind of a bummer. But the biggest question is like Kincaid. What do we think about Kincaid? Another question about Neighbors, but everything's changed. And because he has Neighbors and CD Lamb and Lad McConkey. Yeah. So this wide receiver room needs some help.
Yeah.
I know
every
this is
volatile
crazy.
receiver right now.
Yeah. Where I'm at is just like, that sucks, man. Like, this is where I'm at. Like, I know this is terrible advice, but it's just literally like,
dang, bro.
Yeah, like I would just keep all the, like I would want to give up any of this.
All right, well, let's run through the roster real quick. We've got Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz. Running back wise, we've got Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, Ray Davis, Rico Dowdle. And then a wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, Lad McConkey, Marvin Harrison Jr., Dante Thornton. At tight end, we're looking at Dalton Kincaid, Hunter Henry, David Njoku, Harold Fannin, Michael Mayer, and Aronde Gadsden. Picks wise, we do not have our first. However, we have 3 firsts in 27 and 2 firsts in 28. None of them are
bottom. And the 2 of the 27 picks are projected top 3 picks.
Nice.
So those are very valuable.
All right. So we are currently 4th in contender mode. Where are we at in dynasty mode, Pete? We are number 1 in dynasty mode. Now, I will say that contender value is going to drop. We update our rankings every week on Wednesday. So that contender mode value is going to drop a little bit because Malik Neighbors' value on a contender is 0 now. He doesn't have the value for this season at all. So that's where this is gonna be really tough. And Jagger, you're already kind of starting to allude to it. Quarterback wise, we're in decent shape. Baker Mayfield, solid. And he's in shootouts every week, which you love.
Yes.
It's beautiful for fantasy football purposes. Running backs, we're a bit young, but Jahmyr Gibbs is an absolute stud. Quinshon has quickly become very steady, like a very steady option. Breece Hall has been a little more volatile, as has Travion Henderson, but you feel okay about your running back room overall. You feel pretty solid.
Yeah.
The wide receiver,
I need to buy anybody. Yeah.
Right. Going into the season, I would have felt great about this wide receiver room. Amazing. Right now, I'm terrified. And so Mike asks, at this point, should I just roll with what I got and wait for a healthy 26? I'm fine not selling and waiting a year. And honestly, he might be right. Like
that's why I said that sucks, man. Like why would you give any of this up? Like Malik Neighbors, maybe you could sell and get something else, man. Yeah, that's
if you want to. I have no problem selling Neighbors, but I'm not selling at a discount because he's hurt in Dynasty. I'm not. You are still having to pay the around the turn. You know, he was picked 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. Like, you're still having to pay around the turn prices for a guy like this. So if you want to give me Amon-Ra straight up, I'll listen to it. You want to give me, somebody earlier today was talking about Devon Achane and Ladd McConkey. I'll listen to it. You want to give me something where I feel like I'm getting equal or maybe even above value. Cool. But I'm not going out there and I'm just going to say, all right, well, I'll just take, I'm trying to think who a good example is. I like this guy, but I'm going to just take Garrett Wilson straight up. You know, that was one of the guys from before. I like Garrett Wilson. I'm not taking Garrett Wilson straight up from a league. Like, I need to keep the value. So honestly, dude, like, I would love to have and I love constructing trades. It's one of my favorites. But right now, especially JJ McCarthy's not getting you the value that you want. Travion, we're going to see better days out of him. Breece Hall is likely not even on the Jets next year. He's probably looking better. Like, I think better days are ahead. I think this is just a lesson in patience here. Maybe if you want to trade a couple tight ends, cool. You have plenty of those. But like, other than that, I think it's just a lesson in patience.
That's actually a great idea. You have a lot of tight ends there. What is Keenan Allen going to cost you? Like, I'm talking about something like that. Like, if you could
just
trade
to try to get you by.
Yeah. Like, I like Harold Fannin. I like David Njoku. I like Kincaid. I like Hunter Henry. Aronde Gadsden has value now. Michael Mayer is your only zero value. Go trade Kincaid go see what you could get at a wide receiver that you could put in and just ride it out. But unless someone is going to trade you Malik Neighbors for Amon-Ra St. Brown, for even Jamar Chase is without
JSN.
Like, it's just, if you can get that done, for sure. But I'm not tearing down that roster. Like, you've done the work, dude. Like, don't be Sisyphus pushing the boulder.
Love it. Look at you getting all philosophical over here. I think Hunter Henry, you mentioned Keenan Allen. I think Hunter Henry straight up for Keenan Allen makes perfect sense if there's a team that needs tight end help.
There's a Freudian slip. I don't believe in Kincaid. That's probably the smart.
No, Hunter Henry. We're not trading Kincaid straight up for him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But Hunter Henry for Keenan Allen, I think, is a great deal. Other than that, dude, yeah, I think be patient. Just be patient. I don't know. Anything else, Pete? Are we missing something here?
I'm just honestly, I've just been adding in rosters right now, so I
He's
think
like, I have no
guys
said.
Totally nailed everything.
Perfect. Like, I agree.
Yep. We're high on Kincaid, right?
Concur.
Okay. Yeah, we are, dude, for sure.
Okay, so they're really fast. While we have a lot of rosters that we're adding in right now.
Okay.
So could you guys answer this trade question while I add everyone in?
Would you offer Walker plus Godwin or another running back like Pollard for Henry? Jagger, I see you shaking your head there. You're nervous.
Nope. Ravens offensive line, it's ungood, guys. Some might say bad. Like,
some might.
Yeah. This isn't a Henry thing. It's just like the Ravens they're not very cash money right now. And Godwin, you just said it, man. Who doesn't love the Buccaneers right now? They are fantasy football's best friends. Like, Godwin is going to provide you value in the future. We had one Walker freakout game, guys. Let's just throw that away. It was a really scary week. I think we can get past it, but I can't do that for Henry, especially in Dynasty. Like, I really couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm fine with it conceptually. like, hey, I'm going to package a running back and a wide receiver that maybe other people are higher on than I am, which I actually really like Godwin still, especially with the Mike Evans injury. But if you want to package to upgrade, cool. But Henry's not the guy I'm targeting. If I could do it for Saquon, which I doubt, but if I could do it for Saquon, sure. Could I add a little bit more and get Jonathan Taylor? Would love that. Could I those would be more of like the lane that I'm doing. Cause if I'm gonna limit my depth, and these are still good assets, they're not elite, but they're good assets. If I'm gonna deplete that, I would like to get somebody I feel more solid and steady about.
Do feel good about moving Pollard though. Like Pollard, man, he's really good at maxing out and giving you 10 points per game. That's in PPR. That's
woof. All right, Pete. Did we stall long enough?
Yep. Hey, here's
oof.
This is Jim.
Jim?
Jim.
All right.
He's in the chat.
All right, Jimothy. Let's do this thing. We've got at the quarterback position, we've got Daniel Jones, Tua, and Justin Fields. At running back, Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Javonte Williams, James Conner, DJ Giddens, LaQuint Allen. At wide receiver, Travis Hunter, Ricky Pearsall, Jordan Addison, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow. Tight end wise, we're looking at Brenton Strange, Oronde Gadsden, and Jatavian Sanders. Picks wise, we do not have our first. However, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2027 first. So we are all in on the class, which I understand that. So right now we are currently in 6th in dynasty mode. Pete, where are we at in contender mode?
So can I add a little bit of context here really fast?
Yes,
I read the notes again.
Okay.
It's a 15-team league.
15.
Okay. $500 buy-in.
Okay.
And his current goal is to retool, have fun.
Okay.
And then looking to tank for the 27-101. 12 team, he says.
12 team. That makes a lot more sense.
I was like,
15.
15 does make sense.
Yeah. All right. 12 team makes a lot more sense. This is a super flex league. So, Pete, we're in 6, right in the middle of the road, dynasty wise. Where are we at contender wise? All right. Still middle-ish, but towards the back end at 8th. So Jagger, I'm looking at this team overall. And obviously, see, he's a defending champ, so he's free rolling at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
So I love that. So he's like, all right, time to sell off the pieces, play for the future, which I totally get. And honestly, I would probably lean into that. As excited as I have been about Daniel Jones, and I've been very excited, I'm not ready to say he is set in stone yet as an elite or even a steady quarterback asset. Maybe by week 7, week 8, if we're still seeing a lot of this, then I can say that confidently. But right now, there's still some risk there. We know there's a ton of risk with Justin Fields, and there's a ton of risk with Tua. So we have a lot of risk at those positions. So with that being said, I love having Ashton Genty. I love having Omarion Hampton. But I think I am probably, unless, and it doesn't say in here where we're at standings-wise, I would be curious to hear like where we're at in the standings right now. Are we 4-0? Are we 0-4? Are we where are we at with all of this? But right now, I love Javonte. I'm one of the world's biggest Javonte Williams fans, but he doesn't make sense on our roster. This is an opportune time to sell him. Tyreek Hill could easily be a sell. We're 2-2, so we're not in a bad spot because that's the thing. You could still easily say that you could compete this year. Like you're not far away from it if that's the direction you wanted to go with all those picks. But you're a champ and you're like, nah, I'm ready to build the next dynasty. I'm not looking to win this year. I'm looking to build the next dynasty. So I think for me, right now I'm looking at some of these assets that have gained value for me, or the ones that I just want to get out from underneath before they're a zero. And I'm looking to make those moves today. What about you, Jag?
Everyone's for sale, but Ashton Genty and Amari and Hampton, they're for sale at an expensive cost. That's why.
Sure.
That's like legitimately.
You want to overpay for them? I'm willing to listen.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, buddy, you want to give me 3 firsts for Genty? You know, it's like, that's the way I would do it. But like everyone else, like Connor, like that's gone. Javonte Williams, you could get a second out of right now. And here's where I want to start at. And Garrett, I think you'll agree with me right now. You don't have a quarterback. So 2027, you're playing for wide receiver. 2026, we're playing for a QB. There are lots of QB. Like it is the opposite of last class, where we just had Cam Ward and then a lot of question marks. And then we don't even know if Shadur Sanders was ever a real person. There is a lot of talent in here where I feel like you can get a good, solid quarterback that can go and pair with whoever's left with your quarterbacks. Like assuming you get rid of Daniel Jones, almost nobody wants Tua at this point. Justin Fields, that's someone I would try to move to a contender that you might be able to get a late first for. And then like everyone else, Tyreek Hill, all these guys, you're just trying to accumulate value. And you're looking at all these injured players that are happening, these big injuries. How do I buy them? That's what I would do. So,
I would add on to that. I love, because there's a lot of players that you can get seconds for right now, but I would much prefer to try to take can I take DJ Moore and Omarion Hampton Javonte Williams to a contender, and can I get a first and maybe even a tiny bit on top? Can I try to get those more solid, steady assets by packaging some of these pieces together to get me to that spot? So that's what I'm looking to do. So let's go to some of the top teams and see if there's some deals that can be made here. All right. So right now they're solid at quarterback. They're probably not looking at anything, but they're looking at a running back. They do want a running back. They have James Cook, who's been awesome. And then after that, Kenneth Walker's been okay. Chase Brown has been a nightmare. DeAndre Swift's Bills Like, I think this team would absolutely like to get a Javonte Williams on their team. What kind of pick situation are we looking at here, Pete?
Not much. Yeah,
Not
we need
much.
to find a 26 first, right? Because we do not have any picks there.
I'd love
So
to get
if we're
my
trying to
own
get
back if this is the direction we're going,
Yeah.
which would be
Bill
expensive
has his
probably.
27 first. Yeah.
People don't love. So this might not be the team because we don't need another 27 pick. Like we really don't. I mean, don't get me
Who
wrong.
has
I'll
all
take
the
them.
26 firsts?
Yeah, somebody's got them.
Someone did what you did with 2027 with the 2026 class.
So here's here,
That's
we'll just move
close.
to- Okay, so that's us.
That's us.
Okay, so they're a little bit more dispersed.
They're just a little more. There's a lot of teams with 2.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's okay.
So this team has,
Okay.
They're
They have all their
multiple-
first.
and then
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So they got.
and they
So
have
can you get-
neighbors.
Can you get neighbors? What does it take to get neighbors? You probably don't have it. Well, you have
we're
a lot
trying.
of 2027 first. You have a lot of 2027 first. Maybe they'd be interested. Like go try. Like that. Yeah, that's the move I'd make.
It's worth an ask for sure. What else does that team need? Well, go back to that team. What all do they need?
Yeah.
Running back, they're okay.
They
pretty
need a
solid.
they need a QB3 if this is super flex. Is it super flex?
Danny Dimes. Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
and they had Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Danny
You
Dimes.
can lock up that
prepare-
quarterback room.
His name is Indiana Jones. That's the name of this rock. Like
Oh,
if
dude, he
Danny-
wants him so bad.
Yeah, like you've got to give him Danny. There's no way that you can't get a deal done and get something out of this.
I hate
getting
to
a
say it,
legitimate
but
first.
that's our roster.
Yeah.
Silver
that's
Miners
ours?
is the other.
Oh, dang. That was so
Wah,
exciting
wah.
for a second.
I know. Okay.
I know.
Wah,
So
wah.
exciting.
Not a chance. That guy is a tough trader.
Not a
okay.
chip.
All right.
Okay.
These are
Well,
tough
thank
tra-
you.
All right. We'll
Thank
move on.
you. Yeah. kick it on down the road, I guess, Pete.
Yep. All right, who else we got?
What are we looking for again?
Anything.
Teams
I like
with-
Romeo Dubs and Quentin Johnston for future picks. Like, if you can trade Tyreek Hill and get Dubs plus, I don't hate it to get out from Hill. Is that, am I crazy?
You're not crazy. Dubs is a tough one for me because, one, he just came off of his biggest game of his career. So it's a tough time to trade for him because the price is going to tick up after 3 tutties. But I just don't know how long-term I believe in it. Do you believe that he either A, signs a contract and stays in Green Bay, or goes somewhere as a free agent and is something?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think that the Packers have their wide receivers with Matthew Golden and Romeo Dubs and Jaden Reed. Like that, to me, you say that out loud, that is
And apparently
a solid,
Christian Watson after the contract extension.
I don't know why they did that. I just think that was
I don't either. I don't either, but they did it.
Yeah. I don't, people do weird stuff, but I just think that Dubs, now that you mentioned that with the Christian Watson thing, I would hate for Dubs to get Josh Palmered,
Yeah.
like that is a real threat there. So I'd almost rather, could you get Quentin Johnston plus? But
He has Caleb Johnson on this team.
I was going to bring that up. I would try to
Super
get Caleb
buy
Johnson.
low.
Yeah.
That's the super buy low that I want there. Like, could I give what picks does this guy
Javonte?
have? Yeah, Javonte was on my mind. Oh, he's given up. Oh no, there's his first. I don't know why it's at the bottom. All right, so we want this guy's 26 first. Will and Javonte, Caleb Johnson. That's what we want overall.
Mm-hmm.
And we could give him Javonte and scroll up, Pete. What does he have at quarterback again? Bo Nix and Cam Ward and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So, do you think he would want to? I would try to give him a quarterback.
Yeah. I am starting Daniel Jones over Cam Ward and Bryce Young.
Absolutely.
Like that's just, if you're not, you're being silly at this point. So
Yep.
that's just, I would try to give him, he's got Michael Pittman, try to say like, hey, you can get the stack.
Honestly, you might be able to get, you might honestly be able to get more than that, because I'm thinking if I'm giving Javonte and I'm giving Daniel Jones a first and Caleb Johnson, is that going to be enough? It's close. It's really close.
Dubs.
Hey, throw them in, baby. Yeah, I'll take whatever sweetener. I can get. So there's one move that could be made. Pete, let's go to some of these other teams as well. Any team that has some firsts to offer us.
Okay.
All right.
Not that team.
Well, go back to that one real quick, Pete.
Okay.
Because even though, look, I am known, and I'll admit it, I have been a Brian Thomas hater. Like, I have not been a big fan of his game. I ate a ton of crow. What's that?
So I've been on Twitter.
Yeah, you saw it. You saw it. So I ate a lot of crow last year. I'm eating less crow this year, which is good, better for my diet. But do you look at, like, the pendulum may have swung enough the other way, though, where, like, it's about value for me. It's not as much about the player specifically. It's about the value. Are you going after Brian Thomas on the buy low?
Yes. I was the opposite of you. I was incredibly, like, Brian Thomas Jr. was my wide receiver 2 of that class.
Okay.
So
all right.
Like I would buy low, because him and Marvin Harrison Jr., they're just making boneheaded mistakes right now. Like drops, weird stuff. Trevor Lawrence is doing weird stuff. By weird stuff, I mean he's not very good right now.
100%.
So I think that the talent is there, and I'd be willing to buy it, and especially at a discount. If someone is having a little bit of a panic or eating some regretty spaghetti about not moving Brian Thomas Jr., you can get in there and get him. So
yeah, I think this is a great, as somebody that hasn't been the highest on him, the pendulum has swung far enough the other way where I'm like, well, now I'm interested because of the price tag. So I would say Brian Thomas is somebody that I would go after. Did they don't have any picks though. So go back to our team, Pete. I would be willing to give them. I mean, what do you think it would cost? Would you have to give up Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, and Javonte?
Tyreek Hill, I would want a little bit more. I'd want to get a little bit extra out of him. That's a little much.
Okay. With how bad he's playing right now?
Yeah, with how bad he's playing. Like, and the whole key here is we want draft capital too. So like, give me a second, dog. Give me,
Okay.
you know, like send something back. You cannot be greedy. You're going to get DJ Moore. Say what you want about him, but like he can have his pop game.
For sure. Yeah. All right. I think that's a deal I'm moving. I don't love having both Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter on the same roster, but it is what it is. Lots change in Dynasty, like whatever. So I think that is a move that I am potentially looking to make and go after there. But I think that's the thing. I think you get the point of what we're trying to do. We're giving you some specifics. Some may work, some may not. But the deal is we're moving some of these assets. We're moving some of these pieces to try to get us either young assets that are not going to get us a ton of points this year, but are going to be valuable for our team in 26, 27, 28. Or we're trying to get into that, a couple pieces in that 26 class specifically early. All right. I think that's it, Pete.
Okie dokie. I am moving on to the next person. Side note, Josh, if you are watching, I sent you an email. Please respond because you have a nuke and I wanted to do it today.
Yay.
And then
Tweet me if you want to reach me.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Speaking of nukes, here's another one. This is Janson. 4-0 after this week. Should I go all in and buy assets to win?
Pete, you're going in and out a little bit, but I think you said this guy's going all in, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, weird. Okay. He's 4-0 after this week.
All right, perfect. So let's start at the top here. Superflex tight end premium. We've got Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Michael Penix. Then at running back, Jonathan Taylor, Chuba Hubbard, Cam Scattaboo, J.K. Dobbins, Kyle Monangai, Tyler Algier, Rashad White. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Mbeka Abuka. That's helping you get to 4-0 right there. Michael Pittman Jr., Jawan Jennings, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Washington. At tight end, we've got Steady Eddie, Jake Ferguson, Pat Fryermuth, and A.J. Barner. Picks-wise, we have our first in 26 and 27. We are missing our 20. Oh, no, there it is. There's our 28 first. Found it. So we really haven't moved any of our draft capital right now. We're 3-0, about to be 4-0. We're first in record, and we're first in points for. So, but let's evaluate the team itself. So, Pete, show us in contender mode where now, obviously, things will adjust after this week's games, but where's it saying we're at? It's saying you're number one, my guy. All the puzzle pieces are coming together. Even before we've updated for this week's stuff, you have the number one team in our dynasty ranking or in our contender rankings. You have the number one record in the league. You have the most points in the league. So without being like tongue in cheek, absolutely, like 100%, yes, you need to be pushing some chips in to try to win this year. Jagger, what position are you trying to push those chips towards?
To be honest, I'd want to upgrade my running back. But like, I'm not going to be aggressive to do that. Or I would want to upgrade my QB 1 or 2, whatever. Just having a rushing floor, which is going to be hard for you to get. Like, could you get Lamar? Probably not. Jaden Daniels can't really acquire at this point. So Drake May, that's someone you might be able to get with the rush. Yeah, I love Drake May. Like I would target not Justin Fields, even though I love Justin Fields. Don't do that. But like, go get someone with a really high rushing floor as an upgrade. But like wide receiver, what are you going to do? You could turn Jamar Chase into another wide receiver that is a little bit more who has a quarterback. That's the only other thing. So,
yeah, I would be totally fine with it. I like both of these quarterbacks. I have these guys on plenty of teams. So I think what you're saying there is totally legit. We don't have to make any big moves. And I'm not desperate out there saying I need to make moves, because right now this team has already shown you it can be one of, if not the best team overall in your league. But if there's moves that are not going to break the bank and you're going to have to drastically overpay to get a slight upgrade, cool. So yeah, if you can get a quarterback that's going to give you a little bit more, awesome. If I can get a running back that's maybe a tad bit more steady and I feel more safe and solid about one of those guys, cool. If honestly, I'm fine with Jake Ferguson. Tight end's tough in these streets right now.
He's tight end like 1 right now. Like, who are you gonna you like statistically? Brock Bowers would be a downgrade,
Which is hilarious.
So quick question with this roster though, are you waiting on moving the draft picks specifically until you need to with injuries and stuff? Or are you using those to also trade for players?
Right now, Yep, we're in the same boat, Jagger. Right now, I'm not in desperation mode. And we're going to learn a lot about our league and our team specifically once we hit these bye weeks and once more injuries come in. But that's the thing. There's nothing worse than okay, I'm ready. Let's go all in. I'm training for Saquon Barkley. And then you have a devastating injury at wide receiver and you're like, dang it, I really needed that pick to ensure my wide receiver core now. So I would be waiting closer to the trade deadline. But I think you can look at every position here and say, could it potentially get a small facelift? For sure. So that's what I'm waiting on, is I'm waiting on those injuries. I'm waiting till week 8, week 9, week 10. And I'm going to let this ride until then. And I'm going to push off my decision as long as I can and then make my move. What about you, Jagger?
That's exactly, you nailed it where we're at. I'm not in a hurry. I would like to upgrade Chuba Hubbard, sure, but Cam Scatterboo might be that upgrade if it keeps up the way that it is, And again, you're in the ideal situation where you remember how we used to say about the Patriots, they don't rebuild, they reload. This is what you can do, right now and that people say if you still have draft picks, you didn't try hard enough. That's bullshit, guys. Sorry. That's just that's what crazy people say. You don't have to sell your picks.
So you bring up Cam Scatterboo. I was looking back at a rookie draft we did in the Dynasty Nerds Invitational League, Garrett. Do you remember where Scatterboo fell in that league?
Yeah, super far, because I kept trying to trade up to get him and nobody would trade with me.
So
I got him at 2-7 or something, right?
Nope. 211.
Oh my gay.
And both you and me were trying to trade up from the 203. I remember because you were spamming
I was
the
posting
chat,
on the chat over and
offer
over
sent,
and over.
offer sent, and I was trying to work in silence. But you just fell to Matt, and Matt wasn't even trying to trade up or anything.
No, he was cool. Oh, Cam's here. I was so mad. Mad. Literally, I had been trying. I'm posting, and I'm like, "Hey, willing to move up to this spot." He doesn't get picked. Hey, I'm willing to move up. Seriously, for 6 straight picks, 7 straight picks, and nothing.
Yep.
Now I'm getting all hot and bothered over here.
I'm starting to sweat.
My goodness.
Feel my pulse in my temple.
All right. On to the next one.
Okie dokie. We have a question from H13.
All right, H13. He is currently 1-3. This is a 10-team PPR redraft league. I was offered Brees, Scatterboo, and Judkins for Jamar. My wide receiver is Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Keenan Allison, and Jordan Addison. Do I ask for Rashee Rice over Brees?
Yes.
You could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would feel better. I'd feel better because Garrett Wilson's fine for now. Marvin Harrison Jr., it's what's going on there. Keenan Allen, he's fine for now. Same thing with Jordan Addison. I don't like rostering Jordan Addison. I just don't like rostering. But having Rashee Rice is like that's the Chiefs clearly need him back. Let's put it that way. They need him back, and he's going to step in right away. This isn't injury. This is suspension. Step in right away and be a target hog. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. I would do the trade either way, but I'm with you. I would prefer Rice over Brees. Look, I love Jamar Chase, and dude is a stud. Talent-wise, top of the league. Like, he's there. But he's one player, and a player that is trending in the wrong direction because of Joe Burrow. So if I can now completely fill out my roster, and I can now take two assets that are climbing in value in Scatterboo and Judkins, and potentially a third in Rashee Rice, like, then if you need to make another move later, you have now taken a bunch of assets that are rising in value for an asset that is slowly declining in value. Is he still one of the tops in the leagues? Absolutely. But that's a way to kind of level up. And if you keep making these moves, it's the paperclip theory kind of thing. You know, you kind of keep building up. And then all of a sudden, maybe then you're getting Jamar Chase back for 2/3 of what you paid later if you wanted to. So, yes, totally in favor of making this move. Real quick, before we get into our next one, I do want to tell you guys quickly about Fast Draft. So they're one of our partners. We've loved partnering with them. We've seen a lot of people say, like, dude, this is like super fun. It's like, yeah, if you like best ball, if you're down with underdog, you're gonna love Fast Draft. It's a very similar concept, but they have some unique formats and some unique games without all the sharks that are already there, without all the people that are optimizing for 160 lineups, and all of that is available to you over on Fast Draft. Best of all, they're going to match your deposit 100% up to $100. So that means they're doubling that deposit for you. And us over here at Dynasty Nerds, we are going to give you a free year of the GM Plus Nerd Herd bundle. That means everything that we do, anything you could possibly pay for, the film room, the GM tool in the app, the extra podcast, the nerd scores, which is Jared and I's scouting analysis and all that. Like, all of that stuff is going to be absolutely free for an entire year when you do that. So best deal out there right now. Go ahead and head over to Fast Draft. Use that promo code NERDS today. Pete, what's up next, man?
Okay, so this is from Joseph.
We're nuke free finally?
Well, yeah, we're still waiting on Josh.
Oh, okay.
But currently we are about...
The radiation was getting to me.
Yeah, we're 1946 to present right now.
Right.
So it's a 10-team, start 9, full PPR. I know this team can compete this year. I just don't feel confident that I can beat the current top team. So I'm wondering if I should trade for players to help me win now, and what players to target or sell older pieces while I can and start rebuilding.
All right, so before we go through the lineup, let's see those top two teams because they do look pretty beastly. Let's see what those teams look like. Hurts, and then Gibbs, Taylor, and then it's kind of thin after that. But wide receivers, Malik's about to lose a lot of value, but
yeah, that's
Puka.
I'm packing it in, and I'm trying to sell. And like, to me, looking at these top two teams that are this buff, and granted, I've had rosters like this and got bumped in the first round. Like, it's you know.
I will say this lineup, and it's sexy. It is a sexy lineup. But injury wise, one running back goes down and they're in a bad spot.
Same thing with quarterback. If this is super flex,
I think it's just PPR.
It's one quarterback.
Oh, it's one. Okay, then fine. You're fine then.
You're fine there. Go back to our roster now.
Okay, no, please.
Thank you. So Josh Allen, we'll go. Actually, let's switch it over to contender mode because that's what we care about. We don't care about redraft right now or dynasty value. So Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, we have the slight edge there, I think. Right, Jagger?
Yeah, we do. Like, especially one QB. I'm like, yeah, you're fine at quarterback forever. Right now,
yeah, you're great. Running back wise, I think our top end is pretty similar. McCaffrey, Gibbs, then Henry, I'm a little worried about. So let's maybe say Kyron's our running back 2 for the moment. That's a step below Jonathan Taylor, but not terrible. But we do have more depth. You have Derrick Henry and Cam Scatterbo there. So we're in a little bit better shape there. We'll have George Kittle coming off of injury. Tucker Kraft is more than solid and steady at the position until he does. Dude missed 2 touchdowns last night by inches, like absolute inches. So it's really the only position where I feel like we're getting beat legitimately right now is wide receiver. Right?
Yeah, like, because it's very thin, it's very old. Because I'm thinking now, like, what can you do to get younger and stay competitive at the same time with these wide receivers? And obviously you have like Tyreek Hill and AJ Brown and what you're going to move. You're not moving Justin Jefferson, like he's a cornerstone piece. I would argue that AJ Brown is hard to move right now because you can't really move him. So really Tyreek Hill is who you're going to try to move. And then on top of that, you looked at the running backs there. He had Derrick Henry. And having 3 running backs like McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, Cam Scatterbo, if I could move Henry and Tyreek Hill and then either get a running back or a wide receiver that was a little bit younger, maybe an elite, I would feel pretty good. I don't know. Like those are 2 older assets you could turn into a younger, much better asset.
I would be completely open to making a move like that. T. Higgins is also one that's kind of orbiting my brain right now as a player that he doesn't offer a ton of value to us at the moment, but he still has a lot of long-term value to somebody else potentially if the right move could be made. So he's another one that I'll kind of throw into the mix as a potential, straw to stir the drink if needed. So let's look at some of these non-competing teams right now, and let's see if there's any moves to be made here, Pete. Trey Benson, David Montgomery. He's got some receivers. Garrett Wilson's interesting.
Roma Dunze is impossible to buy.
Yeah,
George
on a rebuilding team.
Yeah, George Pickens.
Did you guys talk about Kyle Pitts on today's episode?
No, we should have. I thought about it too because I think Kyle Pitts is a great tight end again, and no one wants to admit it. We're all scared. We're all quiet. No longer. Kyle Pitts is the real deal. People that could come out.
Oh man, no. I mean, the targets are there again, which is really nice. Like the usage seems to be there. So I'm absolutely, I like Kyle Pitts. So if you could still get him cheap, I think that's the way to go. So I would be totally fine going after him. Garrett Wilson and Kyle Pitts. The only thing is we don't really need tight end with George Kittle and Tucker Kraft. Like it's not really a need.
And it's not tight end premium or anything, so you're not starting them in your flex. Okay.
Yeah. But Garrett Wilson would be an asset I would potentially go after. I don't know that I would give both Derrick Henry and Tyreek to do it, though.
I mean, this team's not going to take that.
That's
right?
true. You would actually have to give
it's a rebuilding team.
So what if you gave T. Higgins and something for Garrett Wilson? Would you do that, Jagger?
Yes. I'm also like the Garrett Wilson guy. So like caveat.
Hey, there you go. I love that. So yeah, I would be open to pursuing like I'm asking him the question like straight up, what plus T. Higgins equals Garrett Wilson? Like I would just ask him straight up.
A second. Like to be honest,
I don't think I could give a first.
No. Like the floor, here's what it is. And this is why T. Higgins is frustrating. If everything is cooking, meaning that both Burrow and Higgins are healthy at the same time, he's legitimately wide receiver 2 upside.
Yeah.
The key is him and Burrow at the same time. I feel like it hasn't happened yet. So he's still, you still got to account for that. That's why I'm not going to give someone a first for it. Like, okay, cool. Next season, you just have a free T Higgins. You know, like this is why I don't like to roster T Higgins either outside of redraft, and that's its own other frustration.
Yeah.
It's just like they're these players that are hard to move and trade.
What if guy plays hardball and he says, all right, Garrett Wilson in your first, or T Higgins in my second? It's tough.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'd probably stay put.
Stay put.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is T Higgins just cooler Devonta Smith?
I would say he's more frustrating Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith at least is on the field all the time.
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
true.
Injuries.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of the same, like 1B to.
Yeah. Could be a 1A, but he'll never he's like
Yeah.
always the bridesmaid, never the bride type receiver.
Yep.
All
And
right.
that's why Garrett Wilson's so nice.
All right, let's look at a couple other teams. If that deal can't get done, if you can if you can do him in a second, cool. If not, maybe move on there. Let's see what other options we have. No, there's not really anything here. Marion, DK. Yeah, there's nothing really here that I love for this
Rashee Rice?
situation. I always love getting Rashee Rice. I love him, but I don't know that he fits this specific situation.
Yes, Jonathan, you can nuke the show and just make sure to input all the information in the sheet, please.
Mm.
All right, keep going up, Pete.
Yeah, I will say like the Rashee Rice I think is always a good thing, but it's like why and like how much, and it's one of those things like, are you acquiring players to acquire players, or are you actually making optimal moves? But to be honest, I would rather have Rashee Rice over T Higgins. I think because it's
That's
just
what
like,
I was.
I think I would
Yeah.
too. Actually,
Yeah.
that's fair. Real quick, 2 players here that are interesting. If we weren't looking at the wide receiver position, we were interested in the running back because we could go either way. Devon Achane on team 7, and then James Cook here on team 6. Both would be players that you could potentially acquire that are offering really, really high upside right now. Either one of those tickle your fancy, Jagger?
Maybe the second one a little bit. Can you give me the details of that?
Achane or James Cook, one of those two guys. Would you be interested in either one of those two, kind of pairing Derrick Henry with something or something like
James
that?
Cook 1,000%, man. Like we're eating it on touchdown regression. That is
sure.
not real. That is not real. Like James Cook is 100% going to get 20 touchdowns. I look bad. Were you one of those people that weren't?
I was too. I was like, hey guys, like this year I'm lowering them. Like you have the offseason issues, and that usually doesn't start off well, and then on top of that, he's going to regress. And so I had him way lower in my rankings than I should have. I think he was like running back 14 for me, and he should have been like top 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was going to be like one of the easier things, is like a running back in a contract dispute never ends well.
Oh, our guy H13, he got Scat, Judkins, and Rashee Rice. So that ended up working out great for him. Good move.
Oh,
man.
that it went through? Hell yeah, dude.
It went through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Jonathan, I'll send you questions to answer. Something's wonky with our form right now. So you'll be on today's show though.
All right. But yeah, James Cook, I would also be interested in Devon Achane if I could add, a plus on top of Derrick Henry to get him. I would do Tyreek Hill in a heartbeat. I would be fine with giving both of those two to get Devon Achane as well. So I think that wraps up this one. Let's do one more, Pete, and then we'll do the nuke, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming the nuke's not ready yet, right?
Nope, I am getting it ready right now.
Okay.
But
yeah, so we'll do one more and then the nuke.
Okie, I am sending this up right now. Okay, so this is Seth's team.
Okay.
The league name is very original. Dynasty Superflex is the league name.
Nice.
Uh,
Keep it
11
scripted.
Exactly what it
starters.
is.
12 team. Biggest question is, this team I inherited a few years ago and can't seem to crack the top of standings and make it far in the playoffs. I'm not sure if it makes more sense to try and sell some assets and acquire picks or go all in.
Okay. Well, Superflex League here. We've got Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Geno Smith at the quarterback spot. Running back wise, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne, Woody Marks, Najee Harris, Jarquez Hunter, Kareem Hunt. Wide receivers, Drake London. Keep scrolling for me, Pete.
Oh, yep.
Brian Thomas, Jameson Williams, Chris Olave. That's why you're struggling right there. Tight ends, Evan Ingram, Ben Sinnott, Zach Ertz. Picks wise, we have already given up our 26 and 27 first round picks, as well as our second round picks in those years. So we kind of are all in. Right now, we are in 5th place in dynasty mode. In contender mode, Pete, take a look for us. We are in 6th. So he's correct. We do kind of just live in that no man's middle land, but we've given up our future draft assets already. So Jagger, when you're in this position, because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this before yet, when you're in this spot, because it's happened to all of us before where we think we're that guy. We are that team. We are ready to go. And then something happens, an injury, guys don't perform, whatever. And we've gone a little too much all in, and we're kind of living to regret it now. What do you do in this situation?
You have to have a real reckoning with yourself. I feel like you like, I always say it's like a come to Jesus meeting, you know, with you and like your manager. And a lot of it is what can you do right now and what will it do to you in the future? You know, and I know that's kind of what we're doing this entire time, where you're like, I'm the guy, everything should be in my favor. And I'm doing this right now. That's why I say it's week 4. I have several rosters, and especially when you have a roster with Drake London, Brian Thomas Jr., Jameson Williams, and Chris Olave, what can you really sell in the future that's actually going to help you? You know, what kind of move is actually going to help your roster besides you just being a perennial rebuilder? This is why I bring up the Sisyphus pushing the boulder. I don't want to constantly push the boulder, but I'm okay pausing and then sitting where I'm at a little bit until next season, because it's like, cool, you need a new tight end. Are you willing to give up Chris Olave? Probably. But if you're going to give up Brian Thomas Jr. or Drake London, then you're just kind of depleted like your receiving core after that. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? And like, I know, like, especially talking to Rich, you never want to stay in the middle. Sometimes it's not that you're intentionally trying to stay in the middle, but you're not going to try to do more damage by doubling down on a bad roster or doubling down on rebuilding, where you're just paying like not paying the rake, but you're just paying someone else's like league fees every year. You don't want to do that.
And that's the hard part too, is that at this point, if you start to trade assets and try to get your picks back, they are going to charge you like everything they possibly could to try to get those picks. Like, I've been in that situation where a team comes to me and is like, hey, how much to get my pick back? I'm like, oh, you want your pick back? Oh, okay. Let me add 20% up top just for talking to me. Because it's expensive to try to get your pick back. So that is kind of the hard part. So I'm with you. I don't love living in the middle, but right now I think you have to do your best to compete with the roster you have. But yes, don't dig yourself in a deeper hole. Like, let's trade my 28 first now, and let's trade my eventually all of that does catch up. And that's kind of where you're already seeing it. So it is going to be a year or two of kind of meh, unfortunately for you, but look for windows. Like right now would be the opposite of a window to sell Brian Thomas. Like, he's the lowest value he's ever been. But if you want to go out there and you want to say like, hey, there's a certain guy I want to sell high on, cool, I'm fine with that. Or you find, the Malik Neighbors guy's panicking and you want to trade Drake London for him straight up. Cool. Like, I have no problem doing that. So just try to find where the actual windows are. Don't force things, don't rush things, because what your team is missing is value right now. You don't have value on your side. And so you need to get back on the plus side of value again. And I think once you do that, you're going to be in a much better spot. You'll have more picks to work with, and you'll have assets that are more liquid and assets that people are really wanting. So it sucks because I do want to, like, I want to be wheeling and dealing, but right now you're kind of just going to be trading from a deficit.
Yeah, it's like you said, man. Like you don't trading from a deficit's hard, but like again, like I don't know, and he doesn't do stuff anymore. But like I used to always disagree with Jordan McNamara, but I feel like the older I get, a lot of what the stuff he says is like true on like you never want to be the perennial rebuilder on stuff like that. So like, just be careful. That'll be my last word of advice on that one. Just be careful what you trade. And sometimes you just got to suck it up. That's why my advice is 100% going to be, that sucks, man. Like, I'm just going to give you a hug. Sometimes it's like, we got to ride this out.
Yep. So the best move right now is to not really make a move unless value presents itself. If value presents itself, take it. But unless that's the case, I wouldn't. Sounds like, Pete, you just said we got another nuke on top of the one Jonathan.
Yeah, so we have 2 queued up right now.
All right, we have a rule on the show, Jag, where we will stay on the air as long as there's nukes. We will keep staying on the air. Now, I didn't warn you of that ahead of time. So if you got stuff you got to do and you got to bounce,
I'm locked in, dog. I'm locked in.
All right, cool. All right, well let's hit these 2 nukes then.
Okie dokie. I am still in the setting up. I'm almost ready.
You're fine.
So much pressure, Garrett. You put so much pressure on me.
Come on, Pete. Get it together. Get it together. Nuclear bombs.
Okay, so this is
go ahead.
This is my friend Jonathan. He is in the Scott Fishbowl League with me.
Oh, is he? That's awesome.
Yeah. So it is a PPR with 1 point extra tight end premium. 12 team start 12 Superflex.
All right, 12 teams start 12 Superflex. So fairly deep league overall here. At the quarterback position, Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco. So a lot of guys actually starting at the moment. Running back wise, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Tyrone Tracy, Dylan Sampson, James Conner, Rashad White. At wide receiver, we have Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, Jaden Reed, Mike Evans, Hunter Renfrow, Cooper Kupp, Dontavian Wicks. Tight ends wise, we're looking at Mason Taylor, Travis Kelce, and Evan Ingram. And even Colt Kmet's been getting a little something lately. Draft pick wise, looks like we have basically all of our picks. We don't have our 26-second, but we have someone else's. So that kind of balances out. We are in 7th in dynasty mode. Pete, where are we at in contender mode?
3rd.
We are in 3rd. So we are right there on the cusp. But we're also sitting here at 3-3. Now, I'd like to know from Jonathan, what happened this week? Did we go 0-2? Did we go 1-1? Did we go 2-0? Because you have some bigger swings with this, the playing against the median. Which,
so he's going to be 4-4.
He's about to be what?
He's 4-4 with the median. He's trying to figure out if he should just throw in the towel and punt, or is it a team that's worth trying to sneak into the playoffs with?
All right, so Jagger, when I look at this roster overall, can you scroll again? Remind me of the receivers and the tight ends.
The tight end was pretty weak. I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Evan
so
Ingram.
Right now I thought Evan Ingram was going to be really good this year.
So
I thought moving to Denver in that system, maybe even playing the Joker role there, like all of it seemed to really be setting up for good success. So far, it has been a big disappointment. We'll see what happens tonight. Monday Night Football they're playing. But so far, I've been really disappointed. Travis Kelce, still good, but we're not anywhere near where he was 2-3 years ago on Travis Kelce just being on another stratosphere compared to everybody else. And looking at our wide receivers, it's Garrett Wilson and then hopes and prayers. Like that's really what it is. And I like Devonta Smith. I don't think he's a bad player. And you and I were even talking about him earlier today as like maybe a long-term outlook if we're worried about AJ Brown. Maybe he's a good play on the Vikings. But right now, when to feel to me, and this is kind of a philosophy that I have, Jagger, for me to really feel like I am a legit contender, I need to feel like I am top 3 at 3 of the 4 positions. If I don't feel like I'm top 3 at 3 of the 4 positions, I don't feel like a real contender. And right now, wide receiver wise, we're probably closer to the bottom 3 than we are the top 3. And tight end, I'm guessing we're somewhere middle of the road. And even with that, if we scroll back up, Pete, the only position where I feel like we have a real edge right now is the running back spot. Yes. Outside of that, I don't know that we really have an edge in this league because our top quarterback, who's our top quarterback?
Yeah, I was about to say, what's the quarterback again?
Mahomes, Murray, Tua.
So that's the thing. Like, we don't have an edge there. Like, we're solid. We're solid, but we don't have an edge. So I think that's the thing for me. Right now, there's a lot of assets that I could sell before the bottom falls out. There's a lot of assets I could still get good money for, good draft capital for, good players for. Whereas in a year or two, these players are not going to give me much of a return at all, more than likely. So I think this is the preemptive blow it up to an extent. Am I being a little too premature here, Jagger?
No, I'm 100% with you. Because like what you said, ideally, I want like a running back. I prioritize kind of least on there. I want at least a stud elite, 2 elite anchor receivers most of the time where I feel good. Then I want a stud quarterback with a rushing floor and then a safe QB2. You know, I used to think that was Trevor Lawrence, but we need to maybe raise that bar a little bit higher than that. Yeah. And then like tight end and running back, it's either way. But like right now, yeah, I guess you could say you have a rushing floor and then a safe QB2. You have literally the floor at rushing floor with QBs and the floor at safe QBs with Patrick Mahomes. His safety lies on that he's always going to have a job type thing. But running back, and it's just the age of your roster as well, where it's kind of like a now or never thing of where you're at, where Josh Jacobs, you can get a lot of value out of Josh Jacobs right now. You know, you can get a lot of value out of, well, you get some value out of Alvin Kamara right now. Same thing with your receivers. You got to make an aggressive move to, I would say, tear down a little bit.
Yep. And so I love that we're on the exact same page here, because basically everyone could potentially go. There is nobody on this team that I'm like, I have to hold on to this guy. Now, I don't think you necessarily need to tear it down to the studs. Would I love to still be sitting with, you know, Garrett Wilson or Mahomes stocks down to maybe Mahomes, you know, because you're not going to get what you used to get for him. Like, I would like to, but somebody comes with the right price for Garrett Wilson. Somebody comes with the right price for Patrick Mahomes. Sure, have them. I'm willing to sell anything, because right now, like, you have probably 7, 8, 9 first round picks sitting on your roster in total. Like, there's a lot of potential that you could be sitting on for your future. So yeah, it's going to make the next 2 to 3 years rough, but there's tons of potential on this team. So I think I am doing the preemptive blow up here. Yeah. All right. Awesome. What we got, Pete? Last one.
So it was actually another person who replied to with their sleeper name, not the nuke. So I'm still waiting on that one. So do we want to hit a non-nuke, or should we just head out?
We can do one more non-nuke and then we'll wrap up.
Okay. So this is Cole's team. Let me get it queued up.
Cole. It's a good name. Very solid. He's probably good. He's probably doing well with his investments.
You just tell. Like,
You can just tell. All right.
did we
go
look at
with
this
Coles.
roster? A lot of Dak Prescott, Jordan Love today, Michael Penix.
We really have. We've had some overlap for sure.
We haven't looked at right. Have we looked at
that?
this roster?
No, we haven't. I could tell by the
Okay.
names. I can't find my McConkeys. Like, that's big on a good fantasy names.
That's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Any notes with this one, Pete, before we get into it?
So my trade question is: did I make the right move? Trading Rashee Rice, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, and a 2026 probably late second, and a 26th third for Bucky Irving in my first back. He was nervous going down 0-2.
Say the trade again.
Yeah.
So
I was like, one more
it's
time. There's a lot.
Rice, Bill, a late second, and a third for Bucky Irving and his first back.
Oh, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
I would.
He's 1 and 2 right now.
But Bucky and Rice, I would put in similar vein, but honestly, Bucky probably has more value right now today, even though I'm big on Rice for the future. So we'll call that a wash. So if I can give a second, third, and a running back I don't feel great about long term for my own first back, yeah, in a 10 team, that makes your first even more valuable because worst case scenario, it's pick 10. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, and Bill Krosky Merritt's in the ugliest timeshare ever. So
it's a weird one. It's a really weird one. It's like we're gonna try everybody else out first every game, and then you get to try.
It's like, oh wow, he got 50 yards. It's like, yeah, well, one more time we'll try with Chris Rodriguez. You know, it's like, well, it's granted he had a big.
So weird. All right, super flex league here, 10-teamer. Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Michael Penix, Joe Milton, running backs Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Isaiah Pacheco, Braylon Allen, Ollie Gordon. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mecca Buka, Lad McConkey, Marvin Mims, Isaac Tesla, Malik Washington. At tight end, Trey McBride, Elijah Ororo. Picks-wise, we have all of our own picks. Well, we're missing some seconds, but we've got our first in 26, 2 first in 27, and then our first in 2028. Right now, we are in third in contender mode. Where are we at in dynasty mode, Pete?
First.
We're first. I love seeing this. So, right now, I think this makes your trade even a little bit better because when I look at your roster, your wide receiver core is set, especially in a 10-team league. It's not as hard to have a good wide receiver core in a 10-team league because there's just so many available. So if I can trade from a surplus into a position that's a little bit easier to a position where now everyone in 10-teamers, they're going to be trying to get those king alpha running backs. So to be able to kind of pivot to another position makes me like this trade even more now that I kind of seen everything. So right now, yes, definitely like that trade, but that is still your weakest position. In a 10-team league, I'm not going to stress that much about the quarterbacks because it's another one where it's like, it's not that hard to get. It's really hard in a 12-team, nearly impossible in a 14-team. But in a 10-team, you can make whatever work. These guys are going to be solid and steady. They're fine. Wide receiver, you're sexy. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. And you've got the stud tight end. So you're there. You're there, except for I need Travion to be my running back 3.
Yeah. Because it's Pacheco. I'm circling Pacheco, and I'm like, how can I con somebody to take Pacheco? Like that's where I'm at. Like I'm just like, cool. You could take Pacheco and anything to give me anything is where I'm at. I just like, you know, because I get his thought process. He's like, I went in with Henderson, Pacheco, Braylon Allen, Ollie Gordon. I'm fine. This is exactly how I build like dynasty rosters.
Because look, like, Mixon and Connor, like 3 months ago, you'll feel solid about that.
Yeah, I get it. I get where his brain was at. But like, so like now I would just try to get out underneath. Trading away Pacheco can't hurt you at this point. Let's put it this way. I really don't think it can hurt you at this point to upgrade to something else. Can you turn Pacheco into Woody Marks right now? Because I would trade Pacheco and Woody Marks straight across. It's not even close. If someone still believes, I might do that.
Pete, do we have any offer teams in this league?
Average Joes. is the only 04.
Does Average Joe's have some running backs?
Chase Brown, the ultimate buy low.
Is he?
Well, you can buy him low.
Like
I didn't say he was gonna.
You can buy
I didn't
him
say he
low.
was gonna do anything, but you can buy him low.
That is fair. That is fair.
That's good.
Would you
All
like
right.
me to make a video that's just me and it's just like all the buy lows, but it's just all the players whose like value has gone down?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
they're probably not
Can
gonna do
actually buy
anything.
them low.
Yeah.
Yep.
These guys suck.
yeah, that'd be
with
great.
Pete Bartowski.
All right. Maybe I am a little bit delusional here, Jag. Is there any world where I can get Bijan Robinson? Is it possible?
Yeah, looking at that team, there should be a world. I don't know.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm in third in contender mode. I'm loving life at every single position that I have. I love having Trey McBride. I have a sexy wide receiver core. My quarterbacks, I'm not worried about in the least. I need a running back to carry me because right now I love having Bucky, but on a real contender, I want Bucky as my RB2 if I can. So if I can turn around and say, hey, dude, like I'll throw in Joe Mixon because maybe in the future he comes back to life. I'll give you 2 firsts. I'll give you I'm finding out what it would cost to get Bijan Robinson. I'm willing to give the equivalent of about 3 firsts and a second to get Bijan Robinson on my team. Now, I don't want those to all have to come from my picks. I would like to still be able to hold on to some draft capital, but I think that's the level that he's at and what he's worth. What do you think?
Yes, like that. I'm not questioning the value at all. What I'm going to give you is an alternative of how we get this deal done.
Okay,
And
lay it on me.
what if we take Trevion Henderson, maybe
Okay.
one of our stud wide receivers,
Okay.
and like we were pretty stacked, and we go trade for Bijan, and then we downgrade one of our stud wide receivers for DJ Moore, Waddle, something like that. So we still have that upside at wide receiver that we could put in our lineup. Since it's 10 team, you need to have that upside, but we get a significant upgrade, and Bucky is now our RB2. Yeah, we lose Trevion, but you got Bijan. You know, that's
I would be open to that. The only caveat I would make is I would make an additional move because I do want to have a third running back. So
Okay.
I would probably make an additional move on top of it, just where it's like, hey, I'll give you this second straight up for whoever.
like a Javonte type, like something
Yeah,
that's like a temporary
exactly.
Band-Aid. Yeah.
I'd even give 2 seconds probably for Javonte because he's
Yeah.
balling. I mean, he's balling this year. He's going to help somebody win a ship. So, yeah, I think that's the kind of move I'm going to make. So, I'm finding a way to get Bijan. I love the alternative route of doing that. As long as I can still have 3 running backs, figure out a way to still get myself a third running back, no problem doing that and giving myself a legit shot to win this year because your window is now. Like, yes, you're still young overall. The only real old guy, go back to our team, Pete.
Yeah.
Really, the only old guy on our team at the moment is Dak Prescott. And maybe you could argue Justin Jefferson, kind of. But
Other than like Mixon and Connor.
Right. But as far as people that are actually going to contribute,
Yeah.
like your team is young. So you have a very big window. You have a 4-year window here to just eat. I'm giving myself every possible plate that I can take to the buffet. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, and Bijan is that. Bijan is that guy that could put up 20 points per game for the next 3 to 4 seasons easily. So I'm not playing it conservative. I'm pushing chips in.
Agreed.
All right. I think that wraps things up for us. Let's go ahead and get to this question here real quick. Pepe says 10 team, 1 QB, start 8. Would you rather trade Saquon or Jacobs plus T and J Mac? Why am I having a brave fart? Who's J Mac?
That's what I'm trying to.
Jalen McMillan?
Yeah. I would. for Egbuka in a 27 first, yeah, I would trade Jacobs to Jalen McMillan has 0 value for me right now.
Yeah.
So
Unless it's
like
somebody
that,
that can't think of.
the fact that I can't think of it means that there's probably very
Yes.
little value.
It is him. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I would do that 100% because you get the 27 first. I'm all in on Egbuka. You get to unload Jacobs while his value's still there, you know? So.
And for me too, this is kind of a philosophical thing for 10-team leagues, especially if we're only starting 8. I do not care about my depth in a league like this. I want as many superstars as I can get. So give me opportunities to get superstars, because in an 18 league, one Christian McCaffrey, one Jamar Chase, one guy like that can win it for you.
Yeah.
So absolutely. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Roster Rescue. We will be back next Monday answering your questions. And look, if you guys haven't yet, please make sure you're subscribed. If you're here and you haven't subscribed, that's silliness. Make sure you subscribe right here, right now, like all of our content. And we've got so many things coming out daily. We have more. Pete, we're working this man to the bone right now with all of the content that we're putting out. See, can't even see his hand. So with that, Jagger, anything else you want to say before we pop out of here?
Nah, man, this was fun. I love doing this stuff, so definitely have me back sometime.
100%. Pete, any other little news or notes that we need to inform the people of before we're out of here?
Just remember to always walk in silence. See you guys.